Hello, hello. How are you guys? It's been a while. It's been like a few weeks. Hope you guys are doing good. Hello. Can you guys hear me all right? Is the audio okay? Hello. Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. So, yeah, it's been like, I think the last time I went live was like 3 weeks ago. Um, I've been busy helping you guys. A lot of you have been contacting me for coaching, which I love. I love like just hearing the success stories you guys get from the coaching you get from me. It makes me so happy. I feel like I'm not crazy for explaining something and then people not getting it. I feel like when people get success stories from you, you feel like, oh, okay, so I am like, I do know what I'm talking about. Well, welcome in, welcome in. So, very quickly, I do want to tell you guys, I don't know if you guys saw my community post, but I opened back up the Manifest for Me service. This time it's going to be open for 1 week. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Well, the reason why I'm leaving it open for 1 week is because typically in the past I would leave it open for a couple days because I know how many people ask for that service and I my inbox gets bombarded with people. And so I feel bad that the people who like don't get to see the announcement on my community tab, like they don't see it and then they miss out until the next time I put the service back up. But this time I'm I'm putting the announcement here in this video so you guys know. Um, yeah, it's back up. If you guys want assistance with a manifestation, I offer that service now. I'm gonna keep it up for a week, like I said. I'm debating a full week. I don't know because a week, but if it gets to be too much, then I'll just have to cut it short. But I want to do a week. I want to do a week to really get people who missed out last time. If you go on my website, that service is not going to be there because I want to first hear about your situation before I take your money. Like, I'm not just going to say I can manifest XYZ and then it's something that, I can't do. Like, you'll be surprised. People tell me to manifest really horrible things. And a lot of the stuff I'm not personally okay with. So I really would prefer you email me first so I can see what your situation is because not everyone is eligible for this service. I'm sorry, I'm not one of those people that will just randomly manifest for your neighbor to jump off a cliff. I'm not doing that. So that's why I have to listen to your situation first before I take your money. Um, yeah. So if you're interested, email me, conjuredrealm@gmail.com. And yeah, how you guys been? I feel like we haven't talked in a while. You manifested me. You see, I'm you pushed out. So, hmm. I was getting a lot of questions on my last video, or just like these last few days about states again. Um, I may touch up on states in another video. I'll talk about it briefly here. But for those who don't know, my most favorite ways to manifest is states. A state is essentially I don't want to say a feeling, but it's a state, for lack of a better word, that you occupy for a manifestation to happen. So, for example, I'm someone that I don't like to do a lot of work when I manifest things. I like for things to be easy, simple, and effortless. And my personal way of doing that is to fall into a state. How do I fall into a state? I basically just assume I'm the version of myself that has XYZ. So if you follow up that thought with, okay, if I'm the person who has XYZ, what are the thoughts or what are the things I would be doing slash thinking if that thing was here right now? So some of the things I don't do, right? If I come from this mindset, some of the things I don't like doing is robotic affirming. Why? Because in my mind, if I already have it, there's really no point in me using robotic affirming because it's already here. To me, I feel like, and this is not the answer for everyone, I know everything is different for every individual person, but for me, I feel as if though if I'm constantly affirming all day for something, it's because I'm doing it to get something. In manifestation, I always tell you guys that you're not doing these techniques to get anything. The whole idea is the manifestation is here now, and you're living life as if it has already happened. So whenever I would robotic affirm, I couldn't help but to think to myself, I'm only doing this because the thing I want is not here. So I feel like if I do more, then it's gonna come faster. I didn't really like that feeling. Also, for some reason, I feel very rushed when I'm robotic affirming. And if anyone knows me, I hate being rushed. I hate it, hate it, hate it so much. I don't like the feeling of urgency, and I don't like the feeling of something needs to happen quick. That's just like me. It makes me very anxious to robotic affirm, so I don't do it. However, don't shoot me because I know some people love robotic affirming, and I'm not saying that it's bad. Listen, if something works for you, continue to do it. Why would you stop doing something that works for you just because I said something different? Right? So always do the technique that makes it a lot easier for you to manifest. Don't just take my word for it. This is just me talking from experience. Don't take my experience and like put that on the pedestal and make it the all end all be all of manifesting. No, there's several different ways to manifest, and for me, my experience is I don't like robotic affirming. I don't like affirming like taking time out of my day to just affirm. For me, I'm a visualizer. I can visualize very vividly with color, very like detail oriented. So visualizing for me is very simple. It's very easy. I just visualize the thing that I want and me some sort of way experiencing it in my thoughts and imagination, and that's it. I just go about my day, and that typically just takes me like 2 minutes, if that, maybe like 30 seconds. Um, I was gonna say something else. I'll get back to that. Have you ever thought of creating a channel membership or a Patreon? I don't really want coaching, but I'd love a way to support your content. Amazing. Actually, I was thinking about doing the YouTube membership. Um, I might start that sometime this week because a lot of people ask me that. You're not the only one that has suggested for me to do that. I do think it's a good idea for people who don't necessarily want coaching. just to have like extra content that they can just go and watch. Oh, thank you. When we don't see anything for months, it is hard to persist. I can't imagine vividly. You don't have to use visualization. If that's not your thing, you don't have to do it. Because there's scripting and then there's also affirming. Believe it or not, your mind thinks in pictures. So even if you say something, your mind will automatically generate an image for you. You just don't know you're doing it. So that's why if you can't visualize, or if you don't see things as clearly as, like, let's say me, that's completely fine. You don't have to see things in 4K color HD resolution to know that your visualization worked. You just have to like imagine or get the gist of whatever it is that you're visualizing, and that's completely perfectly fine. Also, you said you don't see anything for months. It's hard to persist. That's because, for one, you're taking into account too much of the 3D, like you're very 3D oriented, and you're getting validation from the 3D when you should be validating yourself. Oh, you just reminded me of what I want to talk about. So, your imagination is basically your real reality. Imagination is the only reality. You have to learn and train yourselves to think and believe that if you see it in your head or if you affirm for it, it's just as real as what you're seeing right in front of you. Stop thinking that the 4D, your thoughts, your imagination, your affirmations are distant from the 3D. Okay, this also goes into non dualism. Non dualism is a concept that imagination and the 3D are one. There's no separation. There cannot be separation because you are source. When you are source, you lack nothing. You have everything. It's the illusion that causes you to think that you are separate from your desires. So you think you don't have it. And because everything is a reflection, your 3D shows you exactly who you are being. You're being the person that is waiting, that doesn't have it, therefore, you get more of that. So try, even if you don't believe it, it's completely fine. But try to really understand that everything comes from your imagination. Everything that's out in the 3D happened because you thought about it first. The mind, awareness, right? Awareness is the only reality. The second something is in your awareness, in your imagination, it is real. Like right now, I'm gonna randomly manifest something. $1,000. I can vividly picture $1,000 in one of those paper bands, and I can see the number 1,000 wrapped around the money in cash. That image that is now in my mind, I take it just as real as what I when I see this phone. I see these the same thing. And because awareness is the only reality, because I can see it in my mind, it's real now. I have it. Oh, I just manifested $1,000. Like that. Isn't that so easy? Isn't it amazing how we're that powerful? Now, I really don't need the cash, so I probably might just give that to my mom for Christmas. Um, when I affirm so much, I get too much in my head. I'd rather chill and just pretend I'm the version of me who has it and go on not know about it. Yeah, exactly. I hate like thinking about my desire and worrying about it and like where is it, and like no, I don't like doing that. When something becomes too much, even to the most minuscule amount, it's too much for me. Like it's too much. I don't want to be bothered. I rather just say I have it and then move on. Because if that were the case, which it is, that's how I'd be anyway. That's how I feel with robotic affirming. I thought I was doing something wrong or needed to work on self concept. Yeah, no, like for me, I just can't do robotic affirming. I love working on self concept. It's something that I think I will do forever, even if I have a really good self concept right now. I feel like it's something I'll never give up because I don't want my mind to ever revert back to the old way of thinking. Not that I had a bad way of thinking, but I just don't want it ever to slip. So self concept is really good to just always do and carry on. Could you please explain the knowing state? Just did. Visualizing gives me a headache. You don't have to visualize. Just affirming is fine because your mind thinks in pictures. So as soon as you say something, like if you were to say banana or strawberry or apple, even if you don't see anything, your mind just made a picture of it. Um, hmm. Does anyone want to become a mod for me? That way, if you guys see trolls, you can delete them. Okay. I've seen a lot say follow your happiness and know that it's done. Affirm when you remember to remind yourself. That's another thing I really do enjoy. I think Joe Dispenza is the one that says that a lot. Just follow your happiness. Really, it just works. Like anytime I've ever been stressed out about something, I literally just ask myself, what is it that will make me happy right now? And I just completely forget about my desire because if that's the thing that's causing me anxiety or making me doubt or worry, I'm like, you know what? Let me just give myself a break and do something that makes me happy. I kid you not, me doing whatever makes me happy, like, I don't know, going to get coffee, is literally the thing that brings me my desires, which is so crazy. Or like I'll ask myself or tell myself, you know what? Perusing around the mall right now will make me really happy, or going to get a coffee will make me happy, or getting my favorite dessert will make me happy. And that typically almost always will lead me to my desire. Welcome. I did have a great weekend. Oh my god. The last, I think it's been like 5 days now. Um, I randomly, spur of the moment, decided to check into the Four Seasons and just like have a spa day. I recommend you guys, if you have a Four Seasons near you, just go, use their amenities, use their spa. It's so relaxing and like the customer service is great. Hello. Sometimes when I feel real good, I notice other people being triggered by this. How to handle this? You ignore them. Also, that's an assumption that you probably made by accident. You can either affirm that when you feel really good or you have a high self concept, people congratulate you. But for me, I would just say ignore them. So I imagine in English, but it's not my first language. I want to manifest someone for my country, but I think imagining. these inner conversations in English will manifest someone from foreign. Um, Not necessarily. I don't really think it matters what language you think or visualize in. Your subconscious knows what you're talking about, so it really doesn't matter. I think I get lost in my imagination, and then I feel like my imagination holds actual people or something, and the people in my life in the 3D are illusions. Um, yeah, that's a very common belief with people who get into manifesting. There's also like people thinking others outside of us are robots. Once we learn everyone is you pushed out, that's not necessarily the case. Everyone does have their own life. Everyone does like have free will up until you decide something different for your life. Then their free will merges into your reality as if that was something they were doing to begin with. So I believe in the multi world theory. I believe everyone has free will, but when I manifest, like let's say an SP to do something, I'm manifesting the version of them that exists that already is doing the thing that I want them to be doing. Hello. Do you believe in destiny of any kind? I do not. I don't really believe in fate. I don't really think there's anything we should be doing because every reality exists. So you're already doing everything. I feel like as people we're just now in this reality wanting to experience what we want just for the sake of wanting it, not because we have to. It's very controversial, but that's what I believe. I don't like affirming too much, but without repetition, how can I impress my subconscious mind? Visualizing. Hello, hello. I want to manifest for a friend. My friend has been oops, dealing with an eating disorder for years, and I want them to finally overcome it. What are some affirmations I can use or methods to help? I'm so happy my friend no longer has an eating disorder. My friend is healthy. My friend is happy. My friend doesn't suffer anymore with XYZ. You know, just use affirmations that imply the new outcome. And if you want to visualize them telling you, oh my God, I no longer have, right? That can work as well. Um, so you said I don't need $1,000. I will probably give it to my mom. Aren't you waiting for that to happen, like giving the money for a mom card? Or you imagine that as well? Um, so the thing with me visualizing something, there's that obviously I know that I can manifest pretty fast, but it's not like a blink of an eye type of. And I've had situations where it is like that, but I know for the most part, there is a time lag when it comes to your thoughts and the 3D reality, whether that be a couple hours, a few minutes, maybe a day or so, whatever. I do recognize there is a time lag, so I'm not completely like oblivious to that. Um, but yeah, when it happens, I don't know, I won't really need it, so I'll just give it to her. Oh, aren't you waiting for that to happen? In my mind, it already happened, so there's no waiting. Is it okay for me to block text from my SP while manifesting them in order to avoid triggers? Yeah, if that helps you. Some people go as far as blocking them on social media so they're not triggered by things that they see. I feel like that's completely fine. Because, newsflash, like, social media and online is not the only way you can meet people or talk to people. Like, people run into people all the time. So if you have them blocked, I feel like that's a way to save your mental from all the anguish of worrying and like overthinking. Yeah, I'm so for it. I've had so many instant manifestations, but this SP thing just does not seem to get moving. That's why, because you keep claiming it. I take it as a sign that I'm getting in the most perfect way, which is why it's taking time. So instead of viewing it as it's taking time, just say SP already reached out to you. So let's say SP messaged you yesterday and today is the next day. How would you be feeling? How would you be reacting? How would you be moving throughout the day now that you got your movement or you got your desire with SP yesterday? You'd be normal, right? That's exactly how you should be today. I'm glad you mentioned how you don't do robotic affirming because I just decided I get what I want and that's that. Same. I can't be bothered. I also do not like thinking too deep about desires but rather daydream. Yeah, I'm the same exact way. Anything that's like too much, I just can't. I just can't. I'm losing 30 pounds by Friday because I said so. Congrats on the weight loss. I manifested tons of gifts and money, and I keep seeing SP signs. And he messaged me yesterday. See, we're so powerful. We're like walking gods in our reality, just making things happen just because we said so. That's so fun. Oops, I lost my place. Can you explain the higher self? I don't know if it is physical, spiritual, like my brain, or subconscious, mind like that. For me, I used to see it as a separate being from who I was, but then I think people use higher self and subconscious interchangeably. So my belief is higher self is the subconscious. It's the part of us that keeps everything running in the background. But I always tell people if that confuses you, just forget about it as a whole and just know that your thoughts create. Hello from France. Is it okay if I tell myself every day that I weigh 55 kgs or should I think I am going to lose weight soon? Whichever one is easier because they both work. Me personally, I would say I'm already this weight. Also, does the higher self give us desires because I want it, because it wants it through us? Um, your higher self, not really. I'm trying to make it in a way where you can understand that like there's nothing outside of us. Our subconscious is us, so it's just us giving it to ourselves. How long did it take you to become this confident in your manifesting abilities? Um, Well, for me, I've been manifesting, I want to say since I was 14, 13, 13, 14. I really started to read up on the law around 2017. I got into other occult stuff like around age 13. So the concept of manifesting isn't foreign to me. Like I've always known it to be real. However, knowing and reading about like the law and stuff around 2020, I think it was 2016 actually, 2016, knowing that there's a reason why things happen only solidified what I was experiencing. I hate affirming, but I don't like visualizing either because I don't see much. Would making an affirmation tape with my affirmations playing the background work? Yeah. I feel like also subliminals work really well if that's your thing. I blocked SP's number because I was being super desperate and constantly checking for his message or waiting for calls, and I would get so hurt and disappointed when he wouldn't. Yeah, no. We do not put SP on the pedestal. We put ourselves on a pedestal, and as a result, they change. How to get thick long hair? You can visualize yourself with like luscious Rapunzel hair, or Mulan, or yeah, a favorite character that you have. That's something I would do. Or you can affirm, I'm so happy I have amazing, luxurious, healthy hair. And then that's it. Like for me, I make all my affirmations super simple and to the point because I don't like doing. I told you guys, I'm very lazy when it comes to manifesting. I want to do the bare minimum. Does robotic affirming work? It does, but not for me. What helps me is just a daydreaming about SP and a positive. Okay. People say allow the unfolding, how to allow. Go throughout your day as if you know your desire is inevitable. Think of it as you're not waiting for anything, you have it, and you're just living life as if it happened yesterday and you're just living a normal day today. Someone who's really good at robotic affirming is Tay. Do you guys know Taylor Tooks? Is that her name on YouTube? I follow her on Twitter, and she is just a beast at robotic affirming. She's always like posting so many success stories because that works for her. It works amazingly for her. So that's why I'm saying like if that works for you guys, don't just stop doing it because it doesn't work for me. That's just my experience. Like for her, she does it so amazingly well and she manifests so fast. Can you manifest even when you are desperate? You can, it's just not ideal because I don't think you'll sustain your desire for long. I feel like an insecurity will get in the way and you'll end up losing it. That's why I think self concept is super important because you don't need self concept to manifest. However, if I don't have a good self concept in love or money, when that love or money comes in, it's just gonna like flow out of my hands like water because I didn't really I didn't really generate a good mindset when it came to those things. So a lot of the insecurities, a lot of the doubt will start to creep in when I have it because for one, I won't be able to enjoy the desire because I'm so worried. Okay, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if a bill happens? What if SP is talking? You see all those insecurities that come up when you don't work on self concept. Through those insecurities, you will lose your desire. So I work on self concept because for one, I want to keep my desires, and for another, it just makes me feel really good. Could you talk about revision? I want to revise a situation with SB and a living situation. So revision is basically just rewriting how an event happened to something more favorable. So I don't really do revision at often because I rather just affirm for the new outcome. But when I did do revision, I typically will script it and I will write out how the situation went instead of how what happened. Do you use a grater for your skincare? I don't know if you're being a troll or that is a genuine question. How to get that confidence that if I am persisting in the new story, my subconscious will bring that to my reality. For me, it's just experience. It's just reading up on the law so much that you know that this is just how the process works. This is just how the process works. It's like if you know that, okay, I'm going to use a toilet. Stay with me. If you know that the thing on the side of the toilet, once you press it, makes the toilet flush, because we now have an understanding how a toilet works, then you won't really need belief or confidence to know that that's just how the mechanism works. Regardless if you believe it in or not, because the mechanism has a distinct way of working and how it was intended to work, you know that once you press the lever on the toilet, it will flush. So it's not about an opinion, it's not about a theory, it's about a fact. So knowing these facts about manifesting only for me came from diving in a lot of books and doing research and diving headfirst in a lot of like Neville and um, a lot of these other coaches that teach law of assumption. So over time you'll build that confidence, but this is just how the law works. I know if I do XYZ, this result will happen. It's not a matter of maybe, it's not a matter of sometimes, it's not a matter of um hopefully. It's because this is how the mechanism works, therefore it will produce a result. Yeah, I don't. I do the very bare minimum. Manifest and finesse it. Ooh, hey. You know, I literally always watch her videos, but I'm one of those that I put videos in the background. Like if I have people that I love watching, I will put your video on loop, either for one as background, because I'm a very like auditory person. So although I'm not looking at something, I'm still hearing what you're saying. My friends get annoyed at this all the time because I'll be on my phone, but they'll be like telling me a story, and they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't think you heard that," or "I didn't think you caught what I said." No, I'm listening. I'm very very good when it comes to like my listening skills. So I'm always having your videos and Indigos and Tays in the background. How to solve this issue? I could not embody the new state of mind. After meditation or decision, I become worse. Okay, what is the expectation that you think you should be feeling when you embody a state? Because embodying a state literally takes 1 second. It's not some grand like ordeal that you experience that's like this spiritual awakening. And then you see flowers come out of heaven and land on your, no, it's none of that. That's the thing, a lot of people also have this like weird expectation with manifesting that you have to, it has to be this process. No, a state is instant. If you accept that you are something or that you have something, you're in the state of having or being that thing. So, for example, watch me as I change my state to being someone who is fully healthy. Done. See how fast I was? I am completely healthy. My body and organs are healthy. Everything about me is healthy. My hair, skin, and nails are healthy. And that literally just took 1 second. Making your affirmations natural is important. How to make that? Repetition makes it natural automatically. So when I hear people say make your affirmations natural, I distinctly think of how you would normally speak, and you would formulate an affirmations that coincide with the way you talk. So if you're someone that doesn't talk like a robot or a machine, and saying something like I am extravagantly super lusciously magnetically wealthy and I am opulent in every area of my life, then don't do that. For you, something natural may be like I'm rich, I'm super effing rich, I'm the richest person in the world. Like what, like make it as simple as the way you speak. That's how you make it natural. I am slowly reading your comments from top to bottom. So if I don't get to your comment, I'm not ignoring, I'm sorry. I'm just like reading everything one by one. Um, Taylor is not human, I guess. She is from another planet. Yeah, she's incredible. Is it normal to get negative thoughts sometimes, as we all are human? Yeah, of course. You can just observe those thoughts. You don't have to identify with them. The thing is, also, our brain has 70 to 80,000 thoughts a day. You don't think some of those are going to be negative or some of those are going to be intrusive? Like, it's unrealistic to think that, but um, yeah, you don't have to identify with those thoughts. You can just observe them. You can tell yourself, I'm having an intrusive thought and I'm not going to identify with it. This has nothing to do with my life, my world, my reality, and it's nothing but a mere thought. It's not going to affect anything, it's not going to ruin anything because I don't identify with that. I'm understanding that my brain is doing what it's meant to be doing, which is thinking, and because of that, it's creating these thoughts. I'm not going to sit there for 10 minutes and spiral. Oh my god, I had a negative thought that I'm broke. No, that has nothing to do with me. That's not my reality. So I'm not going to be angry. You think if someone walked up to Kylie Jenner and was like, "You're ugly and you're broke." You think she's going to have a bad day? No, because that's not her reality. One, she's a billionaire and she's really pretty. So she's just going to laugh at that. What do you think about Ho'oponopono? Is that like the breathing technique? I don't personally use it, but I do something else called box breathing, is when you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 5, exhale for 6. Deep breaths in general are really good to regulate your nervous system. A lot of you guys should be regulating your nervous system. It helps you in times when you think or are anxious, or you think that your affirmation is not working. It's not really that they're not working, it's just your nervous system is not regulated. That's what's making you feel anxious and making you think you need another technique after technique after technique, when really you should just be regulating your nervous system. I heard also like cold baths work really well, ice on wrists. But for me, the thing that's just easiest is just deep breaths. And that's just always worked for me. Is focusing on one desire at a time better and make it happen faster? I really wouldn't say it's better. It just depends. Like for me, I typically will work on three desires at a time. It's what works for me. Some people can't do that much. Some people can do one at a time. Some people can do 10 at a time. It just depends on your manifesting style. But I would imagine it really shouldn't matter. I want to revise my age to 29 from 36. I affirm I am 29 years old. That works. Simple to the point. What helped me with self concept and even just bettering my mindset was to embody personalities like Paris Hilton. Yeah, that's another technique a lot of coaches do when they're like in specific like settings or situations. They'll embody somebody and work from that state, which is really cool. So to revise, I just affirm the outcome I want. Does that like change my reality or shifts it? Also, how long does it usually take to conform? The time it takes for it to conform is however long it takes you to basically accept that new reality. It's very different from person to person, so I can't really tell you how long. Um, so to revise, I just affirm the outcome I want. Yeah, just affirm the outcome that you want to have happened, and don't say the old story. Don't repeat what happened. Don't gossip about it. Don't tell your friends about it. As far as you're concerned now, what you now say is what happened. All right, guys, I'm going to answer one more question and I'm going to be off to this meeting, which I am on time this time for. Let me see. I want to answer something that you guys can all benefit from. Would you say that experiencing the end is better from a present tense or a past tense of having already occurred when it comes to manifestation? I don't really think it matters, but me personally, I do it from past tense because I've been able to manifest both ways, but past tense for me is just my go-to. So I would recommend maybe past tense more. It just I connect with that way better because if I'm coming from like the end already happened and that happened in the past, so my mind just gravitates and connects to that a lot easier than if I'm saying something is going to happen. There's nothing wrong with that either. It's just easiest for me to just say something has happened already. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my live. I don't want to be late to this meeting. I'm actually on time this time. I think I might be early, but um, if you guys want to participate in the manifest for me, like I said, please email me conjuredrealm@gmail.com. It's not on my website because I do need to hear your situation before we work together. Um, yeah, I still offer coaching. If you want to do coaching, my coaching is on my website, conjuredrealm.com. Um, you can book time. I think what was it? Let me see. Yeah, you can. There. I opened up time slots again, so time and dates are now up at your convenience. So, like, if you want to book like ahead of time, like a week or 2 weeks from now, you can do that through conjuredrealm.com. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this live and I answered your questions. I'm sorry if I didn't, but if you want to work with me one on one, you have my website. All right, guys. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Persist in your desires. Don't let the 3D fool you into thinking you don't have it because you do. The 3D is an illusion, and there's no separation from you and your thoughts. All right, guys. Happy